Hey, I just wanted to take a moment and kind of hopefully flesh out an idea or a thought that I had. I just had a session with somebody and wanted to share a thought with you. That's the basic idea here. I'm Justin Sunseri, by the way, licensed marriage and family therapist. This is not therapy, it's just me sharing a thought here. Your feelings that you have are not good or bad. I know we frame things that way. We say positive and negative, good and bad, but they're not good or bad. There's no value to them. There's no judgment. There's no evaluation. We do judge, we do evaluate, but just as they are, those are those concepts don't make sense. The body does what it needs to do, and maybe that is some tightness here and there, or pain, or I don't mean like a physical ailment exactly. I mean like a somatic sensation or a response to being more in a defensive state. I mean, like, when we're in a fight state, we might tense up, and the tension might feel uncomfortable. It might feel, or maybe we're going through like shame or something like that, and we have this impulse to curl up. We have discomfort in our gut. It doesn't feel comfortable, but it's also not bad. It is what it is, and the body does what it needs to do. So one thing that could help, not maybe immediately, but just could help in general, is to start looking at things not as good or bad, but as just needed in that moment, or the body knows what it needs more than you do. So more than your conscious mind does, I mean. So it's not good or bad. It just might be the next step of what the body needs in that moment. And if you can look at things as not good or bad and without trying to make them go away, and just sort of be curious and be more of an observer, that can actually help. That can actually help. When we evaluate and we say good or bad, usually bad, when we evaluate and try to make things stop or go away, it makes things worse. It stuffs down the problem, and along with the problem, the sensations, the feelings. It's very invalidating, right? So, again, it's not a good or bad thing. It's just necessary, or it's what the body needs to go through at that moment. It's not forever. And the sooner you can become curious about what you're going through with those internal sensations, that actually helps. When you can be curious about things and just sort of watch, that actually helps. And that's kind of one level. The next level would be to be curious about things, watch, and then also do something to actively help yourself self-regulate while feeling those things. So while feeling shame or anger or panic or anxiety or whatever it is, to do something that helps you to feel safe, helps you to self-regulate. And that might be music. Maybe that's some sort of movement. Maybe that's reducing stimulation and just isolating and being, or more like in solitude, and reducing stimulation for a while. I don't know the right thing for you, obviously. But that's kind of the next level, is allowing yourself to feel it and then doing something to help yourself self-regulate while feeling it. So kind of balancing those two, allowing those two sensations to be present. One which is probably more defensive, and the other one which is more safety related. So allowing both of those to be present simultaneously, and they end up kind of balancing each other out, and the body can go through this natural process of pendulation, going back and forth between these two polarities and sensations, I guess, call it that. So it's not good or bad. It's not right or wrong. They're just feelings, and it's biology. And it's probably pretty darn normal based on history, context, based on whatever stuck state, whatever home away from home you have. Yeah, you might not know how to feel safety. It's not necessarily easy, or They may have gotten lost along the way, based on your history. I don't know. But it's possible. I think generally it's possible. I have a course called Building Safety Anchors that can help you out. It helps you identify what safety is, or how it feels within you on a very biological level. Because it might be new. It might not be something you're familiar with. And so you do need that top-down cognitive learning. And I have the podcast. I have, the resources here in video. I have my blog. But you might need that extra level of help, of not just, or extra level of resource, I guess. And so if all of my free resources didn't get you where you needed to be, and you need that extra level of like guided practice in finding safety, then building safety anchors can be really helpful for you. I have a 30-day option and a self-paced option, and that's on justinlmft.com. But you might need that. You might need some level of support, and maybe that's a therapist, maybe that's a class, a course. It's hard to do on your own from scratch. Like even though biologically, I think we do know these things, how to find safety, it gets lost along the way. Maybe that's part of that's just like being human. But a lot of that's probably contextual based on our lives. But it's still there. We still have the capacity to feel these things. We just have to kind of like learn how to do it all over again, and building safety anchors can be helpful in that.